Hi, I'm Tyler Schumann.
And I am Randy Singleton.
And we're here with Man Bracketology.
What does it take to make it back to the state title this year?
Well, we've got a tough game a week from Friday. We've got to beat St. Joe Christian again. Be the 10th matchup in 5 years, so it's going to be a tough game.
What matchups are you most looking forward to seeing?
I think Stanberry and Worth County will be another good matchup. It's a pretty close game. It's 2 points. Worth County came back from a deficit and pulled it out. So I think that'll be one of the best matchups in Man football this year.
In our first game, we have Rockport versus Albany, and we're expecting Rockport to get the W.
Next, we have Worth County versus Stanberry. In Week 9, Worth County defeated Stanberry 44-42, but we expect Stanberry to get revenge on Worth County.
Next, we have Greenfield versus Northwest Hughesville. Greenfield earlier defeated them 88-20, so we're expecting Greenfield to get another W.
Next, we have Sacred Heart versus Hardin Central. Sacred Heart recently defeated Hardin Central by 28, and we expect the same outcome this time.
Then we have North Andrew versus St. Joe Christian. Earlier in the season, North Andrew won 30-12, so we're expecting North Andrew to get another W.
Next, we have Nottoway Holt versus Mount City. Earlier, Nottoway Holt had a 42-0 win, so we think Nottoway Holt will beat Mount City.
Next, we have Southwest Livingston versus North Shelby, and we're thinking Southwest Livingston's going to get the W.
Then we have King City versus Stewartsville. We predict that Stewartsville will beat King City.
King City's going to win.
No, it's not.
We're predicting
Wrong.
King City's going to win.
Wrong.
In round 3, we're going to have a lot of tough matchups. First, we have Stanberry versus Rockport. Stanberry's the defending state champions. Anything that's going to be a good game, Randy?
Oh, it's going to be a very great game, Tyler.
We have a prediction. We think Rockport's going to win based on season stats.
After that, we have Greenfield versus Sacred Heart. We think that Greenfield will get the victory over Sacred Heart.
Next, we have a tough opponent versus Nottoway Holt and North Andrew. We think North Andrew will get the win, though.
Next, we have Stewartsville versus Southwest Livingston. We think Stewartsville will win a close game.
We actually have King City is going to win a close game
No, we
there.
don't. You're wrong.
King City will be there.
Wrong.
King City wins the game.
Wrong.
In the semifinal rounds, we're going to have some tough matchups. First, we have Rockport versus Greenfield. We think Rockport's had a tougher schedule, so we think Rockport's going to defeat Greenfield.
We also have Stewartsville versus North Andrew. No matter what happens in this game, the Cardinal is going to come out with the win.
Well, it's actually King City versus North Andrew,
It's actually Stewartsville versus North
and we
Andrew.
believe North Andrew will beat King City and make it to the state game.
Now to Trevor Madison, our expert on 8-man football.
Thanks, guys. This year in 8-man football, some of the top teams square off at the beginning of the playoffs, and not the least of which is Worth County and Stanberry. Both those teams met in the last week of the regular season, with Worth County coming out victorious 44-42. However, that was at Stanberry. However, this time the game is at Worth County. Ever since the bye was introduced for the 2012-2013 season, only one team out of 22 has ever lost that has had the bye. Stanberry is going to have a lot on their hands, as Isaac Alarcon is the state's leading rusher with 1,273 yards. That's over 8 yards per carry. The Worth County defense is also led by Wade Rush, who has 108 tackles and is in the top 5 in 8-man football. However, Worth County is also going to have to deal with the rushing force of Trey Schieber. But overall, Stanberry doesn't have too much of a passing game and not very much of a defensive line, so that's why I'm picking Worth County to win this. Rockport is going to have a pretty easy game against Albany, so that'll put Rockport and Worth County for the District 1 championship. Rockport scores 50 points per game and only gives up 10. However, Worth County usually gives up 35 points per game. Jace Hughes for Rockport leads state passing with 1,819 yards. And really, at the end, it's going to come down to defense, and as we've already stated, Worth County wins there, so that's why I'm picking Worth County to go to the state semifinal. District 4, it will likely be between Greenfield and Sacred Heart. Greenfield has actually already gotten to the championship because Northwest Hughesville forfeited, and Sacred Heart has a relatively easy game, so they'll probably play for the District 4 championship. Greenfield is 7-0, and Sacred Heart is 5-3. David Strapp for Greenfield is in the top 5 in state passing. Greenfield is second in points per game, just under North Andrew with 58. They also have a powerful defense led by Jared Estapo, which leads the state in 15 sacks. So that's why I have Greenfield advancing to play Rockport in the state semifinal. In the state semifinal, both teams are undefeated, except that Rockport has had a much harder schedule compared to Greenfield. Rockport has a great defense and an extreme passing game. Greenfield is more of average. That's why I'm predicting a blowout victory for Rockport. In District 2, on the other side of the bracket, will likely be between North Andrew and South Holt. South Holt lost to Rockport earlier this season by 48 points in only 3 quarters. South Holt has had a pretty easy schedule, and North Andrew leads state scoring with 59 points per game. Jacob Powelson is second in state passing with 1,243 yards. Caleb Patterson is second in state receiving with 815 yards. South Holt doesn't have much of an offense, and they're going to get gunned down by Caleb Patterson and Jonathan Chittum, who are both in the top 5 in state sacks. That's why I'm picking North Andrew to go to the state semifinal. In District 3, it'll likely come down to King City and Southwest Livingston. They didn't play and they didn't have a common opponent, so it's very hard to compare them. But King City has had a little bit of a harder schedule, and they only lost to Worth County by 2 scores. They rely heavily on passing for their offense, and they've only had 3 interceptions all season, which is just incredible. That's why I'm picking King City to play North Andrew in the state semifinal. In the state semifinal between North Andrew and King City, North Andrew won the first game of the year by 48 points, but King City has progressed a lot over the year. North Andrew is still undefeated. North Andrew has a much more powerful offense and a much more powerful defense, so that's why I'm picking North Andrew to go to state. So that'll be Rockport and North Andrew at Faroe Field at 3 o'clock. However, if history's taught us anything, you can't predict anything for the state game. Back to you, Randy and Tyler.
Thank you, Trevor, for the insight.
And now for the state title game in Fairfield and Columbia, Missouri, we have the Blue Jays versus the Cardinals. The Blue Jays have allowed less points per season, but the Cardinals have scored more.
Now for the stats. Rockport's quarterback, Jace Hughes, has had more touchdowns and more yardage than Cardinals quarterback Jacob Powelson. For receiving, Tyler Jones has more receiving yards than Caleb Patterson, but they have the same amount of touchdowns. So Rockport has better stats, but we think the Cardinals' state experience will get them to victory.
We'll see you in Columbia.